Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, September 4th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. For a lot of stuff to discuss, new location again. The kids are actually back at school, which is scary, but they're back, at least for part of the day, so I could actually do this at my home. I'm not at work yet, with quiet, so it should be interesting. Any event, the things to talk about today, a lot of things actually. First is there's some weird indexing or search quirks that we noticed during the week. There was a licensable image badge update with Google Image Search, Google My Business video meetings, and Google Ads is hiding keyword data. So stay tuned and don't miss this segment. All right, so first up, just a quick update. We posted the Google Webmaster report, the monthly report, where we give you pretty much a recap of the past 30 days of what happened with Google for Webmaster-related topics. Obviously, the big things were the Google search glitches we discussed in the past. We had a major temporary impact on the Google search results. SEOs are bracing themselves for a big Google update. Like we discussed last week, Google Search Console launched Insights, the new API infrastructure, there's a new licensable badge, and a lot more. So if you do want to catch up quickly on what happened in the past month or so with SEO, definitely take a look at that. A lot of people outside of the US, Germany, UK, India, were complaining this week around September 1st, September 2nd, of some weird indexing issues. I was unable to replicate this, but it was from trusted sources, and I was really unable to replicate this. I think it had something to do with some data center issues maybe in those regions. I'm not sure. Google did not confirm any of this, but if you did know some quirkiness and weirdness with your traffic over the past, September 1st, maybe August 31st, September 1st, I think it was like September 1st at night through September 2nd in the morning. That is definitely some people chattering about that, but I was unable to replicate any of those issues. John Mueller made a distinction, something we knew, but again, it's important to know. Google does not index links. It indexes the pages between links. So page A links to page B, it indexes the page A and indexes the page B, and it finds when it's doing the indexing and the ranking and the crawling that there's a link between page A and page B. If page B goes away or page A goes away, that link also technically goes away between the two pages. John Mueller had a pretty long discussion on Twitter around word count as a ranking signal. Now, of course, word count is not a ranking signal. We've known that forever and ever in short content, long content, comprehensive content. It all ranks fine. You can see very short content ranking fine. But he basically went through a whole thing about how it's not a ranking factor. A lot of people asked him a bunch of questions and so forth. So if you want to look at that, it's pretty fun to read it. It's on August 31st. I'm not going to go through all of what he said there, but it's interesting to see. Dijon SEO went ahead and published a poll, had about 200 plus votes, asking, do you believe or do you think Google has the ability to manually demote a domain name or a page without alerting the webmaster? And 75% said yes, and only 25% said no. Now, in the early days of manual actions and penalties and so forth, Google would have the ability to go ahead and, for sure, have the ability to go ahead and assign manual actions. Now, of course, algorithms, stepping back, obviously Google's not alerting you to. I always wanted Google to release a automated action viewer where they would actually say, hey, you got hit by this algorithm update. Google's not going to do that. They asked numerous times. But in terms of manual actions, Google early days would not notify webmasters at all about manual actions. Then they started to notify most webmasters about most manual actions. I'm not sure about today. I asked Google, they didn't get back to me. I assume they still have the ability to apply manual actions to really, really bad spam techniques and would not notify them because why let the spammer know, I guess. Googlebot is now crawling using the stable release of Chrome 85. Chrome 85 was released on August 25th, I believe. And I believe Google started crawling with this user agent as early as August 31st or September 1st. So everybody's now seeing it in their log files. So that's interesting to see. Google announced this week that the Google Image Search licensable badges are now live for everybody. They announced this months ago as a beta for certain people like Getty Images and so forth, but now it's live for everybody where it shows a licensable badge in the image search. In addition to that, Google released a new user rights filter in image search. It used to have like numerous options. Now it only has really like 3 options. Show me all images, show me images that have Creative Commons licenses, or show me images that have other commercial and other licenses. So Google changed that filter with this. Google Search is testing a new set of product carousels. It's very interesting, this one. It's not anything new in terms of what it's showing, but the carousel itself is large image, and when you swipe to the left to see the actual review carousel, it actually collapses that image and makes it a little bit smaller, which is an interesting way of doing that. Google's testing a bunch of user interfaces around that. Google My Business has a new feature where if you go into Google My Business, it's going to ask you to go ahead and update your service availability. And it's going to ask you 3 questions. Is your business open? Yes or no. Are you offering on-site services? Yes or no. And are you offering online appointments? And if you say yes to that, I believe, what you're going to get later on, and I saw this this morning, and people saw it yesterday afternoon, that Google My Business is adding the ability to integrate video conferencing for online appointments and so forth. So I went to it and I see a new button there that says connect in real time with video. And then it offers you to connect using Google Meet, WebEx, Skype, and Zoom. It's not fully integrated. I'm not sure exactly how that will work, but it says set it up. And I tried to set it up, but it didn't really take me to actually setting it up. So it will be interesting to see how that actually works as it starts to roll out. Google local panels, knowledge panels, are showing description boxes, which I think we saw before, but in those description boxes, links as well that let you link down to a specific page on your website. Very interesting to see Google doing that on local panels. Google local panels are also showing order pickup buttons. Now, Google, I think, added the ability to add these order pickup buttons months ago, I think a couple months ago at least. But now people are noticing the order pickup button directly in the local panel for some local restaurants and so forth. Google Local is also showing how long a business has been in operation. So here's an example of a business that's been in operation for 20 years, and it's showing that. And I guess it's getting it from when Google added the add opening date option, which was, I think, sometime in 2018, which you can tell Google when you actually opened your business. Google Ads is doing some interesting stuff this week. Google Ads is now said they updated the search terms report for privacy reasons, and they're going ahead and said, there's changes to the search term report. We're updating the search term report to only include terms that were searched by a significant number of users. As a result, you may see fewer terms in your report going forward. Now, Google says this is around privacy and security and all that other stuff, which they said again back years ago with not provided in Google Analytics. They said this again with Search Console data, but now it's happening to search terms report, which you pay for. You're paying for these searchers to go to your website, and Google's not giving you that data. I doubt we can convince Google otherwise. We don't know what a significant number of users are, but it is what it is. And the SEM community, the PPC community, is not happy about that. In other ad news, Google said they're increasing the prices of their ads in 3 countries. United Kingdom by 2% to cover taxes, in Turkey and in Austria by 5% to cover taxes and regulatory fees. Again, prices are getting more expensive in those areas. Google Ads also will be disallowing ads around sensitive events where you are either profiting off those sensitive events or, I guess, blaming others for those sensitive events. So if you have some conspiracy theory that aliens caused COVID-19 and you're blaming aliens for that, Google might not go ahead and approve those ads that are marketing that pitch. Google Ads also, final thing with Google Ads is that they triple the amount of conversion categories you could use. Previously, I think there was like 6 conversion categories you could use. Now there's, I think, 19 different conversion categories you could use. Things like add to cart, submit lead, book appointments, and a lot more, Google said. And the reason for this is that they want you to be able to narrow down on that and make it more targeted, directed. But notice that by October 15th, Google's going to go ahead and switch the previous categories you have set up to the new ones. So you have to make sure to review them before that, because Google's going to give you the ability to review those suggestions and make those changes as necessary. Finally, Microsoft Advertising is rolling out their new advertising portal. They announced it earlier this year, I believe, or maybe last year. And with that, Microsoft, they're actually rolling it out to everybody. So a lot of people are actually seeing the new Microsoft Advertising panel. It was launched officially 10 months ago, but now everybody's being rolled out to, and people are saying it looks oddly like the Google Ads platform. Any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Subscribe, like, comment, and tell your friends. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and be safe. Bye-bye.